Hey everybody, Unstable Gamer here, and welcome back to another Marvel Strike Force video. In this video, we're going to talk about two things. First, we're going to talk about the Invisible Woman. That is what the community update last week was all about. We're going to talk about her abilities and what it's going to take to unlock her. And then there's a little bit of some data mine information that we're going to take a look at that suggests when we might see the Human Torch. So, first, before we jump into that, if you're just now finding this channel and you want to stay up to date with this and other games, consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out. All right, so let's take a look at this latest community update. It came out just a few days ago. It looks like on the 16th. And it's talking about the Invisible Woman here and what we can expect and what it's going to take to go ahead and unlock her, as well as the kind of abilities that she has. So it says the Fantastic Four's legendary Lightbender is on the way. And if you're familiar with the Fantastic Four and Sue Storm, you know that her legendary title is well deserved. So she is the legendary character that's going to bind the Fantastic Four together along with Namor. And this team here is going to be a war-centric team. So she is a protector, it says here, protector who hides her allies from enemy attacks by removing their negative effects while also applying stealth, barrier, and deflect. So this is going to be our third character that has the barrier ability. And then along with Mr. Fantastic, Human Torch, Invisible Woman, and the Thing, they make up the core Fantastic Four members. Again, versatile powerhouse. When it comes to their offensive abilities, the offensive abilities of Namor, then this is going to be, it says, characters become the rulers of war. So I'm a little curious. Right now, we'd have a very good war team with the Power Armor team. So I'm curious how this team is going to stack up against that team. We will see. So let's take a look at her abilities really quick. Her basic here, so these are all maxed abilities. So attack the primary target for 290% damage, and then barrier self for 10% of this character's max health. So with all these max level, what I can't really take a look at right now is if orange material is worth the upgrade for each one of these abilities or not, and which ones would be preferred. We'll have to wait for her to come into game for that so we can take a look at it. But there you go. So 290% damage, and then barrier self for 10% of this character's max health. She's a protector, so her health should be pretty healthy. All right, special. Clear 2 negative effects from self and all allies. That's strong. Apply stealth to self and all allies. Apply defense up for 2 turns to self and all allies, and then clear stealth from the highest health ally. Then apply 3 deflect and immunity for 2 turns to the highest health ally. So that's typically going to be, if it's not your tank, then it could be a high health attacker, right? Or maybe your highest health ally at the time is going to be a support. Who knows? It'll be interesting to see how that plays out in the game. And then you're going to clear stealth from all enemies, which is nice. Your ultimate here, the ultimate is going to apply offense down for 2 turns to all enemies, which is nice, and then barrier all allies for 40% of this character's health. 40%, almost half of this character's health is going to be a barrier for all the allies. So again, not knowing where the purple ability ends and the orange ability starts, can't really make any recommendations right now as far as whether it's going to be worth putting in that orange material. But very interesting right there. And then the passive. Passives are usually a safe bet when putting in orange material, but we took a look at this a few videos back. So when an enemy attacks a Fantastic Four ally with barrier, attack that enemy for 250% damage. You're going to gain plus 20% max health, and then Fantastic Four and Namor allies are going to gain plus 20% health. Now remember, when we took a look at the kit for all of the Fantastic Four and ally, each one of those members gives each of the other members of that team some additional benefits. So obviously, I mean, very well, synergy is very strong with this team. So the Visible Woman is a 5-star unlock, which is awesome. And then we're going to need 5-star team of the city's newest villains, which is going to be your Sinister Six. And then, so let's take a look at how this changes up. So the Green Goblin is already available in Nexus 5-6, right? All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at that. So here is your Sinister Six team that you're going to need to unlock the Invisible Woman. Now, Rhino can already be farmed out of the Blitz store. You go into here, see, it just says, it says available in the Blitz orb but you go out into your supplies over here to Blitz, and he is available for, what was it? Was it 500? I think it was 500 of your Blitz credits here. So he is already a farmable. In the raid store, not the raid store, but in the arena store, Vulture is now available. So you're going to farm him out of that store. And then as far as the other two characters here, we have Goblin. We just said, we just took a look at that. Is farmable out of Nexus right here, Nexus 5-6. We don't have anything about Shocker yet, other than Shocker is going to be farmable in a node. We don't know which node that's going to be. Hopefully it's not too difficult of a node. So we've got Goblin in Nexus 5-6, so maybe it's going to be around, I don't know, somewhere in Chapter 3, Chapter 4, maybe Chapter 6. Who knows? And then as far as Mysterio here, so currently he is not farmable anywhere at all, but we take a look at this right here. It says Mysterio is going to be appearing in the raid store. He hasn't appeared there yet, at least that I can see, but that is where you're going to be able to go ahead and farm him. It might happen after this current event ends, because right now we have this long-standing Master of Illusion event where we're going to go ahead, where we've been collecting Mysterio character shards, but that ends tomorrow, actually. So we might see that happen later in the week, or maybe even tomorrow when that ends. Who knows? That is your team, your Sinister Six, and it's very interesting. So this team here is farmable fairly early. I mean, Nexus 5-6, you have to put in the work for Arena and Blitz in order to farm them every single day out of the Blitz and the Arena stores. But I think for most people, everyone's at least doing all the daily quests and everything like that. So that really shouldn't be too difficult. And then obviously when they show up in Blitz and stuff, you're going to want to push hard for that. However, this team now is the first team in the game that will allow you to unlock two legendary characters. And the reason for that is you have obviously Invisible Woman, which we've been talking about right here, but you also have Shuri. Shuri needs not the Sinister Six, but the Spider-Verse team in order to unlock. And each one of these characters here, each one of these Sinister Six team right here, they have the Spider-Verse tag right here. Right here, Spider-Verse. I'm just checking for my sanity as well. Obviously him for the Spider-Verse because he was the original one. And then you have him here. So the first team ever in the game that will allow you to unlock two legendary characters. So that changes the dynamic of things a little bit, I think, because especially if you're new to the game, one of the first teams, and I've mentioned it in my free-to-play guide, I've seen it in other people's free-to-play guides, the Defenders team is the team that you want to farm from the very beginning because they are very much farmable. But now we have the Sinister Six team. So the question is, should we continue to farm, or should the suggestion continue to be farming the Defenders over the Sinister Six, or start putting into the Sinister Six before putting into the Defenders? Me, I'm going to update my free-to-play guide here, hopefully with probably after the Fantastic Four and everybody comes out and after we see the Invisible Woman, because I did put my free-to-play farming guide out earlier this year, but there already has been so many changes to the game, it definitely probably warrants an update. However, my suggestion for that is just farm both. I would focus on the Defenders as your main team, and I would focus on the Sinister Six as a project team very early on in the game. And the reason for that is the Defenders still do very well in all game modes. So let's get back to this. All right, so Invisible Woman, there we go. That is her kit. Everything looks pretty good there. We know how to farm her and what it's going to take to unlock her. The other couple things that are in this community update, we have save squads expanding, which is awesome. We're going to expand that by 5 more, which is going to give us a total of 20. The auto-kicking resolution for Alliance members, oh my gosh. So I saw a couple posts on my Alliance Discord where people were getting kicked out. So I went to Reddit, and obviously it was a thing. People were getting kicked out of their alliances, which I can only imagine how much havoc that caused. So it was nice to see that there was some compensation coming back from the developers for that. And again, we've seen that a lot with the team lately. I really like that. They said, yep, oops, mistake. This is what we're going to do for you. I think that's absolutely awesome. The compensation I thought was pretty good too. Then you have the Guardian 2x event coming up, and then the Star-Lord Legendary event, which is on right now. If you want to go ahead and continue to work on your Star-Lord, because he's still pretty good right now. He is part of my main raid team. I guess it's called the BKT team. Still the best raid team in the game. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at a data mine that suggests when we're going to go ahead and when we might expect the Human Torch. All right, so in game we did get this mail talking about the new blaster that's coming in. It's the Human Torch. He's a versatile powerhouse. He's got unavoidable AoE attacks. He flips negative effects. All cool stuff. So be on the lookout for this blistering member of the Fantastic Four. So what the data mine suggests is that right here, Human Torch will be available on a Flame On Blitz starting on August 29th. So that's next week from now, right? So next week, and with another on September 5th. And you can go ahead and recruit him early, obviously, with the offer. Now, typically, we do see those offers come out a week before the Blitz comes out. So I would assume that it would come this week. If it doesn't come this week, it may be similar to what happened last time, where we may see the Human Torch offer coming out on Tuesday next week, and then we see him going into Blitz on the 29th. So we'll see how that plays out. But the data mine suggests that is when we're going to see Johnny Storm right there. Also, right here, don't miss out. He will be featured in the Red Star and Elite Red Star orbs with an increased drop rate of 10% until September 2nd, which is 2 weeks away, which is Labor Day. All right, and there you go. That's all I had for you today. Just a video to go ahead and discuss the latest community update, what it's going to take to get Invisible Woman. Take a look at that team a little bit as well. Give some of my thoughts on that whole thing as well, and then obviously take a look at when we might see Johnny Storm. So very interested in that. Want to get this team together and just see how well they work, because we've got other members that aren't even in play yet, like Mr. Fantastic. So all right, there you go, everybody. As always, I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch the video. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button and share your thoughts and questions in the comment section below. Take care, everyone, and we'll talk to you next time.